Craig with us here in the studio. Frank, Shaka, how have you spent transfer deadline day?
Not following transfers.
Oh.
What gets me in the transfer? What gets me in the transfer deadline day is if you have a bit of time and you're sat at home, like me today, and I was on my phone,
right,
reading my, not so much on Twitter posting, just reading my news.
Okay, good.
Is the amount of BS.
Oh, lovely.
People come out with.
Right.
Because you know what it is, sitting telling you about transfers from teams and players and how he plays in a certain position. No idea. You know, players that most people have never heard of.
Right.
From teams you've never heard of, going, oh yeah, he's magnificent. He'll fit in there in a 3 at the back. And he'll be and you're thinking, shut up.
Oh. What about you, Frank? Are you still
Massaging your ego.
Are you still in Normandy, Frank?
Yes, I'm still in Normandy, so I didn't look at anything about the transfer window, and I was around the swimming pool. I was after going to work out and watering my plants, flowers at the end of the day, and waiting for that fantastic show.
You're telling me I'm the only one
to do my job.
I think you were.
I mean, that's worrying. I was the only one following studiously the transfer deadline today.
Frank, what swimming stroke is your favourite, Frank? I can imagine a breaststroke. Don't like getting your hair wet.
No, what, you're talking about my plants and my flowers, what I love the most? I love all of them.
Swimming.
The roses
Your swimming
and everything.
technique.
Oh, my swimming technique?
Yes.
Well, I'm fantastic, in crawl, in everything, I can do it, whatever you want, oh my God.
Can you do the butterfly?
You should have thought about me to play the new
What a waste of time the
Tarzan,
butterfly is.
The butterfly, do the butterfly. He could be the French Duncan Goodyear.
Oh, butterfly.
That's what nobody knows who that is.
I don't care, look it up. You can look it up.
You could say Michael Phelps would be a little more relevant.
Michael Phelps is not bald.
Yes, but
Duncan Goodyear is bald.
I've seen
the butterfly, you've tried that?
I've seen Shaka swimming.
It's hard.
Shaka cooling off after a big night out in the sea.
What?
Right, fun question here. What do you do?
Breaststroke.
You know what Stevie does? He walks, couldn't he? Because his shoulder doesn't go above his neck.
Well, you can do that.
No, apparently not.
Him going there is a gigantic waste of time.
Fun question here, Craig. Aubameyang over or under 15 goals this season?
Yeah, that's reasonable. Because we get a lot of stupid questions.
Right.
And for some reason they make it on. I don't know.
Good. Well, thank you for your questions, everyone.
No, don't. No.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for the reasonable ones. The stupid ones,
right.
no thanks.
Okay. 15.
I think that's a reasonable question. I'm going to say... Wow.
Oh, you're really giving this some thought.
Yeah, because... I'm going to say over.
Over?
Yeah, slightly. Just over.
I'd have gone under. Shaka, higher or lower?
But I never asked you.
I am going to go just over as well.
Frank?
I'm going to say 12.
Very exact.
I'm telling his dad.
Very exact.
I'm telling his dad.
Craig, what's more likely to happen? Manchester
I'm going
United
to call
to
his
finish
dad after.
Manchester United to finish top 4 or Leicester to be relegated?
Ooh.
I don't think Leicester will be relegated.
Do you not?
No.
Brendan Rodgers scathing after the game, saying, this is not the same club as it was 2 years ago. We haven't brought anybody in.
I know they signed one outfield player.
Yeah, which was a replacement.
Today or yesterday. If he stays and they allow him to go through this and he doesn't jack it in, they are better than some of the other teams that are down there. Come on. They've got better players than Southampton. They've got better players than Bournemouth. Fulham have signed a few players actually, so I don't think they'll be relegated. So I think there's what was the question? Less chance of that happening.
Okay. For Frank, do you see any way back for Maguire now after 3 straight wins and back-to-back clean sheets?
No way. Right now, no way. Because first, the others are doing great or well, and so Ten Hag is gonna count on them and would not make any change. And on top of it, I think Maguire, psychologically talking, I think the guy is nowhere near it. I don't know what's going to happen in his future, near future, but I think he will have to think about leaving the club because I don't see him coming back. I don't see him being performant with Manchester United if he comes back. He will have to rebound somewhere else. It's impossible for him to. Well, I don't see him doing great at Manchester United, even within a month or 2 months.
How many Carabao Cup games do you need to play at the World Cup for England?
Yeah, it's going to be a big dilemma, isn't it, for Gareth Southgate, who's been very loyal to him. He likes him.
Worried.
No? Are you going to be here for the World Cup?
Do you mean like on the earth?
Well,
I mean,
no,
I'm hoping
it'd be a
so.
very you move to go on holiday.
To be fair, I'm hoping I got a couple of months at least to hover around. Did you say am I what? Taking a holiday?
Yes, during the World Cup.
Well, I mean,
Well.
I don't know. You know,
Oh, right.
I like to.
Okay, Frankie.
No, I mean, I'm not even. I wouldn't do that.
Frankie, you coming here for it?
Can I what?
Are you coming here for the World Cup?
Yes, I'm coming here for 2 weeks. In the first 2 weeks of
That's
the World
it.
Cup.
Sold. I'm
and
taking
I
a
go
holiday. I'm on holiday. That's it. Sold.
Shaka, are we allowed to reveal what you're
You don't
doing?
want to be.
Is that embargoed?
Is Don coming?
I don't know if Don's coming.
Don, you know Don's turned into the
I'm good.
pronunciation police?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I saw you tweeting his Hutchinson, his
Yes.
surname.
I know, it's very
I mean, how can Don be the pronunciation police?
I don't know, he's on it. He's trying to take that mantle from Derek.
You've got to be quite a sad individual to be sat at home. I don't mean Don. I mean, as a generalisation, to be sat there worried about a little pronunciation mistake in a commentary or something. You really have to be quite sad.
Although I had a lot of Martinez on the show today when I was coming in.
What?
Martinez.
Is it Martinez?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's nothing to really get that upset about.
I don't know. What if they called you something different?
Lots of people do.
Well, yes, indeed.
At home.
Mostly.
It's not a problem. And I know before I get in here today, you were also probably calling me names. Even though there was nobody else in.
I don't think so.
Well, that's a change.
After Haaland...
Even I wouldn't push the boundaries of taking the World Cup off.
Okay.
I've thought about it.
Right.
No.
Oh, okay, look at you, loyal. After Haaland's 9 goals
Loyalty's my middle name.
in 5 games, is the Premier League now the Farmers' League, Shaka? It's always kind of a weird phrase, isn't it?
It is. It's a phrase that we normally have Frank objecting to. Listen, we all knew exactly how good Haaland was coming into this league. The numbers don't really surprise anybody, given who he's playing for. So the answer to that question, I know it's very tongue-in-cheek. Obviously, no. I can't wait to see how much he scores.
Well, actually, there'll be a lot of people out there, Shaka, that it's not tongue-in-cheek or irony or sarcasm. There'll be a lot of people out there that is going, seriously, because a lot of them not very bright when it comes to this sport.
Right.
And they're going, oh, look at this. You couldn't do this in Germany. I mean, this is just the Premier League. Well, what they don't understand, and they really don't, some of them, is he's playing, although they didn't win the Champions League, effectively, arguably the best club side on the planet.
Right.
With the best players. Right? So you figure it out for yourselves. Of course, against the weaker teams, they are going to pulverise them with chances.
So why is that different to PSG, for example, in France?
Because City are a better team than PSG. Hence the reason they knocked them out of the Champions League, and hence the reason they completely outplayed them. That's why.
Oh, do you want to chip in, Frank?
Bless you already, Shaka.
What's the difference between PSG and France?
Thank you, Frank.
No, but I think, I don't want to discuss about that. I think people are misunderstanding, and I totally agree with Craig. First, Haaland is a fantastic player, but he's being served fantastically by his teammates. And it's why now he's shining like crazy in the Premier League. And it was just for me normal to see him, scoring goals and goals and goals. I said he's already, the last show, is an alien because the guy knows how to do everything. But on top of it now, he's surrounded by the top of the top. So I don't know if it would work the same with Paris Saint-Germain, but the way that Guardiola makes his team play, it's 100% good for Haaland. And it's why I wonder why Guardiola was waiting so long to get a striker in that level last year, the year before, where he almost played with no strikers.
I mean, people got to understand, right? Seriously, we're not flag bearers for the Premier League, and I worked for the Premier League for many years when I was there, and I'm not. It's a lot of the teams in the Premier League are dross. Mm-hmm. It's so. I mean, it is. It's the richest league in the world. It's the most watched globally, and it's the most sought after globally. There's a lot of bad teams in the Premier League. Yep. There's no getting away from it. But at the top end, the upper echelon, it's a lot of top players up there.
Frank, did you ever dread playing with a player because you knew the player would make a lot of forward runs and you would be left to cover their position? Man.
Do you guys dread? What is a dread player?
So were you worried when you were with a partner and you know he'd go marauding up the field and then you have to cover him?
No, my teammates thought that because I was going forward and they had to cover me. But no, not really. I mean, you know, sometimes, in the national team with Christian Carambe. Christian used to go forward, and we called him the crazy horse, because he was going forward. And sometimes we say, where are you going? Where are you going? Stay there. And but we knew how to cover him, and we accepted it because he was a very talented player.
This goes back to the Ruud Gullit. I've told you the Ruud Gullit story.
I don't remember it.
Yes. Right. When Glenn Hoddle, when he first came into Chelsea, and Glenn Hoddle who liked to tinker a little bit, but had an idea of playing with a back three and a sweeper, and wanted to mould the team that way. And Ruud was going to come in and play as the libero, the sweeper, which he had done before, although he was World Player of the Year as a striker. But that fell flat on its face quite quickly when Ruud would go on those runs that the question is asking about. These mazy runs, he'd go up front and nothing would come of it in the end. But he would take him, he could have had a fortnight's holiday by the time he got back. And so, after many attempts, including one of them being shouting at me to tell him to get back rather than telling them, and they telling them themselves, they tried to get me to tell him, at which point I told them where to go.
Right.
They then put him up front in his normal position.
Oh, and that worked out right?
Yeah, that worked out better because he was not able to go full length of the pitch and not come back.
I've got a text from Don, he says it's libero.
It's libero. Don can't text. Can't be
libero, yeah.
So yeah, that was one of those ones. But what did he do? The management were frightened to tell him.
Right, okay.
Like, can't tell him. Get somebody else to tell him. Then I went, I won't tell you what I said.
Well, yes.
But anyway.
Final question to you, Shaka. Who did the best business this transfer window?
Barcelona. I thought Barcelona had an incredible transfer window. The only questions about
no money, Shaq.
Yeah.
That's what I was about to say. The only questions are about the long-term effects of it. But for a club that are flat broke, man, they spend a lot of money. I need to figure that out.
Do you know what as well's changed? And the game's changed. There's no doubt about it. The pitch is the same size.
Yes.
The ball's still round.
Right.
But they play it a little differently. Of course they do. But also I was sat today and I thought to myself, how many videos do I need to watch of players that are leaving clubs? Posting videos.
Right, oh, I see.
Messages.
Like a goodbye thing.
Yeah, rather than...
That's nice, isn't it? Nice
I knew you were going to say that.
It's
That's
nice.
nice. You just think everybody's nice. Not like the old days when you walked in, see everybody, give them a little hug, got your boots, sodded off, got on a flight, bosh.
If you leave here, we make a nice video of you.
Well, you make a video. But I did put it on, there was like... Oriol Romeo was leaving Southampton, there was a lovely video. Somebody else was leaving, there was a lovely video.
But why would that be frustrating? Is it just a nice touch?
You take my point wrongly. I'm saying how things have changed.
Right, but I feel there's a negative connotation to you bringing it up.
That's just your mind. There's not a shot. Well, I was thinking, I was thinking when I saw these videos, just get your boots and sod off.
But they're not making the videos, are they?
They were.
No.
They were private videos.
No, I'm sure somebody else.
Each their own, Daniel. You merely missed the point. I'm saying.
Right.
That's how it's changed these days.
Right.
And I didn't look at the responses, but I've got a better few responses with, go on, sod off.
Oh, there you are.
You know, because people are horrible.
Your Celtic video would be good.
Nice. What?
Frank, late night swim tonight? What's it, 1 o'clock now?
Frank, you killing animals in the roof of your house? Yeah, about that time.
Well, leave me alone. I will not kill. I won't kill anybody. I won't go to my pool to swim like Craig.
Yeah.
You know, like that. You know.
God, be careful. Don't dislocate a shoulder.
I'm going to go to bed.
Yeah, that'll affect the golf.
I'm just going to go to bed.
Well, yes, I imagine it would.
Frank, how come you're in Normandy as much as you are?
It's where his posh new house is.
Yeah.
Hope he's got that down as a second resident.
Someone just switching on and it's got Frank going, I didn't kill anyone. That is it. That brings us to the end of today's show. ESPN FC will be back on your screens tomorrow. I'm sure more reflection on what happened in the transfer window. Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.